Hangout, and Smitty got another show for you guys, man. We missed last week, but just a little weird day last Thursday, man. I had a lot going on and just had an eerie feeling as well, so we kind of missed that week, but we're back. We don't want to continue to miss weeks, man. And I will be honest with you guys, the times that we do, it's either myself has something that comes up, or maybe Smitty has something. Like I know one of the weeks Smitty was on vacation and things like that. You guys got to understand, man, life happens, and of course, and hold on. I'm echoing, I'm sure. Hold on. All right, I shouldn't be echoing now. I always forget, guys, in case y'all want to know why it happens, when I add this NDI source to Skype, it records both my audio from Skype and the microphone I already have in OBS, so that's why it echoes. Yep, somebody just said I got a little echo. It should be gone now, so y'all just confirm to me that it's gone. I've identified the problem, and we should be good. But back to what I was saying. Life happens sometimes, guys. Smitty and I do this for you guys. It's for fun. We don't get paid to do it, so we're not always gonna just keep the schedule. We're not like First Take, where it's every morning at 10 o'clock, and that's our job. Right. Maybe if we grew to be that big one day, then maybe. But sometimes things happen, man, and But just always pay attention to us on Twitter. We'll let you know if we're coming on or not. If I'll try to be better with that going forward. If we have to miss a show, we can announce it a lot earlier than running up to the time. But anyway, we're here tonight, and really all we got to talk about tonight, to be honest, a little bit of football. We'll talk a little bit about the next-gen consoles, kind of approach it from what we currently feel so far, not a whole lot out there. And then we'll talk a little bit about Madden, man. We just want to, and I know I'm the one always saying I'm tired of talking about Madden, but I feel like sometimes, Smitty, we have to continue to make these same points, and maybe it gets heard. I don't know. But we'll get into that at the end of the show. But before all of that, especially with these trying times, man, I'm going to say what's up to Smitty. Good to see you, man. How was your week? How's everything going? And hopefully you and your family, man, and everybody that you know is healthy and safe during these times.
Yeah, man. No, we definitely are, feeling good. Everybody's good over here. We're definitely healthy. We have been doing our best to keep ourselves safe. So we basically have quarantined inside. We've been able to get the main essential stuff that we needed, so thank God for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, no, this situation's been buck wild. You know what I'm saying? Like this is crazy. But we watch, we follow all the guidelines and the directives and everything, because we don't want, we're not trying to run that risk. So, not especially for my son or my wife, definitely can't have that. So, or any of us for that matter. But yeah, we're just grateful to be here, being able to do this, and I mean, look, I know it's a simple thing as gaming, and, it's something like that led me and Sim to come together, our brother Azura, which he'll be back soon.
He'll be back soon, guys.
And I mean, it's this kind of vessel that allows us to fellowship and have fun and all that good stuff, even in these kind of times, or even if it's just like a slight distraction for a little bit. It's a better alternative than doing some very harmful things that could be a lot more negatively affecting. You know what I mean? Like my wife, she lost a family member from the virus. I have family that is sick. I'm not sure if it's from the virus related or not. But, it's just, I'm being very careful and very cautious with people, what I'm saying? And hopefully that everybody else, whether you have someone that you lost or someone that, has contracted it or they tested negatively for it or whatever, just all together, man, just praying for all of you guys to be safe. Be safe, be conscious, wash your hands, do all the safety things, please. The more people follow the directions and take the discretionary measures accordingly, things can move along faster in terms of the situation being resolved. things spread far and wide when people want to be, act like ain't nothing going on, and then before you know it, you didn't give it to who knows how many people. You see what I'm saying? So please be careful with all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you walk around and you think, oh, I'm good, ain't nothing going on, you could have it and not necessarily and not show a single sign. So don't push it. You know what I'm saying? Don't even try it. Like just do what's being said and stay home. Okay? Unless you truly have to go out somewhere, stay at home. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Mr. Antoine Myers there with the $5 donation. Appreciate you
Yeah,
there,
man.
good
Shout
sir.
outs, man.
Very much. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Other than that, you guys, please, just be cautious out there, okay? But other than that, man, like I said, got some things we want to talk about, and like what Sim said too, like I agree. Like I want us to be on, at least try. I know we have family things and things happen at times, but we definitely want to try to make sure that we're on every week and discussing things or whatever, and and definitely like we do. I'm gonna make sure that it's a habitual thing. Like I'm always going to ask from you guys, like, what is it that you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Any topics or anything like that. Like that's just gonna be a habitual thing, because not just because of us having to brainstorm, but it's like, what is it that you want to have some dialogue about? What is it that you want us to touch on? Like, there's a burning topic that you're like, yo, I want to hear what Sim and Smitty got to say about this. Let us know something so that we could definitely make that happen. So, but other than that, man, that's all I got at this moment, and I'll throw it to you, Sim.
Yeah, same thing, man. I spoke to spoke to Smitty right before the show. Definitely sorry to hear about who wife's family member and people that Smitty knows. So keep them in prayer, man. Keep everybody in prayer. Keep all of us in prayer. And like Smitty said, it's we don't want to make it sound so generic, but it really does come down to just maintaining your due diligence when it comes to hygiene. And I'm not saying you're not clean, but wash your hands. Little things that we all probably have done from time to time. Be more mindful of it. Like, how many times have you, for whatever reason, your hand is right here and you biting on your finger or something, or you know what I mean? Little stuff like that. Be mindful of all of that. Wash your hands, soap and water. Sanitizer is okay when you're on the go, but soap and water, it's been proven it actually kills and breaks down viruses. And just try not to be around so many people. I mean, it's kind of disappointing, Smitty, man. With the USA always, touting themselves as the best country in the world and all of that, and to see some of these people on the beach, and like that dude on that clip that's floating around out there, he's like, if I get it, I don't care. I'm not gonna let it stop me from that kind of stuff. It's, again, like Smitty said, it might not be myself or Smitty, like, God forbid, but one of us could come across it and not even know. Like, that's literally happening. People don't have no symptoms. They have a little sickness and it came and went, right? But because of that, I pass it on to some 80-year-old woman that I walk by and talking to in the store or something like that, or around your own family. That's the reason why you got to chill. The same reason why, like, my kid, their school has been closed, and right now they've extended it to the 12th, I think, of April. And they're probably going to close for the rest of the year, just to be honest. But that's the reason why. A lot of the kids are basically carrying it or have the potential to carry it and not show any real effects, and then they bring it back to their parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, etc. So that's why we got to be more responsible. And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to call some people out. I'm not going to say names, Smitty, but even some of you guys I've seen on your social media is not giving to, what? Come on, man. Don't do that. If you can, just try. I'll give y'all a perfect example. And I told Smitty this earlier today, too. And I might even let him make an appearance so y'all can see how funny this is. But I ended up getting a puppy today, right? Long story short, my son is he is allergic to dogs. So we can only get hyperallergenic dogs, right? So we've been looking for these dogs, and we decided on a couple. My wife liked the Obama dog, the Portuguese water dog. And I'm trying to still find something that's big and still has, somewhat of a good look to it. So I kind of decided on a giant schnauzer. So, oh, that look all right. Because again, I'm a type of guy that grew up with a Rottweiler. I've had a Doberman. I mean, I like dogs, big dogs. I like boxers. We ain't going to be able to get that, right? So long story short, family member of mine had a litter of toy poodles. My mom knows that my son wants a dog so bad, so they decided that they were going to buy this dog for him. And, of course, for you guys that don't know, when a dog has a litter, they got to stay with their mother for at least 8 weeks. So we've been waiting for this dog to come. My parents usually come visit me most of the time, every 3 or 4 months. They live in Virginia. Obviously, they're not going to do that now. So, but my mom and dad being such great parents, they decided, great parents and grandparents, they decided that they were going to drive today and surprise my son and bring the dog and drive back home, still practicing the social distancing and all of that. So I got this little dog, and long story short, I'm out in the back and I'm letting him walk around, and this guy with his dog, and he's calling me, hey, did you just get your dog? And da-da-da-da, he's so cute. And da-da-da, he starts getting closer, and I kind of was like, oh, social distancing. Yo, with a fella, I was like, hey, I said, look, man, I don't want to, I don't mean no harm. But he said, no, I get it. You're right. And we stood probably about 15 feet apart. Like, hey, man, like, I'm not playing these games, right? Yeah. At least until we got to allow a few more weeks to go by, man, and kind of see how things are going. But anyway, I know that was a long ramble. But, guys, if you don't have to be, don't be all up in somebody's face. Don't be at the movies. Well, most places, movies are closed and stuff, but y'all know what I'm saying. Just don't be ignorant, man. Let's just sit down for a minute. We can contain it. And then maybe we can go on about our lives. But anyway, that's my little health special for the day. But anyway, let's get into it. Smitty. Man, I guess we'll start off with the NFL news. I mean, and yeah, wherever you want to start. I pulled up the list of all of the free agents. Clearly, let's go ahead and talk about the biggest elephant, I guess, in the news is, man, Smitty, what do you think, number one? Well, I'm not even going to ask the first question because I think we all pretty much saw Tom Brady wasn't going to be re-signed with the Patriots. I kind of seen that coming. They kind of alluded to it all season. We've always heard him and Belichick's relationship wasn't as strong, and we heard the rumors about how he wanted to keep Garoppolo, et cetera, et cetera. He is 43 years old, so it's not surprising that the organization moves on. I mean, it happened to Joe Montana, a lot of quarterbacks like that. But Smitty, did you for 1 minute think he would end up at Tampa Bay?
No, not at all. Like that was.
Man,
that was as far left as it gets. Like Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like what?
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? No. So it's like I don't know about that one. That threw me way off. I mean, I understand the coaches and the coordinators and things like that. That they talk about or that they brought up in all the different points and. It's like, look, I understand, like, they try to make it a big deal about Coach Belichick and, Tom Brady leaving the team, like, oh, it's a problem, and, oh, there are all these issues. The media is trying to make it like there was some big old turmoil going on, right? Whatever, and it's like, no, he just made that conscious decision to leave. Now, I will say this, like you just posted in that response there, I will say this. Tampa Bay does have good defense.
Yes, Lord, they do.
So Brady's covered on that end. If he has the protection in the pocket, which, like, look, now I haven't been watching. I have not watched Tampa Bay Buccaneer games, so I'm not going to sit up here and act like, oh, I can tell you exactly how they are. So I don't know on the offensive tip like that. But if Tom Brady has adequate protection over there, he'll be good. Him and Mike Evans. You know what I'm saying?
O.J. Howard.
Yeah, like they have talent. So it's not that they don't have enough to get the job done. They definitely do. So, and then also the key thing that I loved about what Tom had said, he's like, I just got one request. I want everybody's phone number so I could get on the same page with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's big.
Big.
That's the big stuff right there. Like, I'm trying to get on the same page with everybody so that way we could get this thing going right. They can get an understanding of me, and vice versa. So it's gonna be like it can be a very, very interesting season whenever it does get going. It can be very interesting for these guys, man. Like they can definitely make some noise. So I believe they definitely can. So and got to give a shout out to Trey. Donated $5 to the super chat. What's going on, man?
Definitely.
Appreciate the donation, man. Appreciate that.
Oh man. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
Yo, I'm gonna post a link, guys, in the chat, and y'all can check it out when you get a chance. But basically, again, it's live, man, and I just happened to see it. They're showing what police are doing to Indian citizens who are caught defying the country's coronavirus lockdown. All right. So if we were doing this, I bet y'all to stay your tail out. All right, go ahead, Smith.
Oh, I gotta see that.
Oh my goodness. Yo, they getting whipped in the streets.
Let me see here.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That's crazy.
My man got that. He got that cane.
That mollywop. Man.
My man out here. If any of you guys, they up here going Sandman style. Dang, he poking him.
That's crazy. Yo. That's crazy right there.
Yo, he going Mr. Sandman style with it. Like for those of y'all that used to watch ECW. My man came with that Singapore cane. Wow. He said he making them do push-ups in the streets. Woo. All right. That's crazy. Look at this. Oh, these dudes is just out here just slapping people.
Y'all check it out, man. It's a nice crazy little funny real quick.
That's crazy right there. Wow. So, anywho though, but yeah, back to what we were saying though. But man, I mean, look, Tom Brady, he made that move, and shoot, like I said, it threw me off to see him make that move, and we'll see what happens. We got to see what the effect Tom Brady is going to bring to the table, because it is a huge deal when you bring Tom Brady. Tom Brady has an effect like a Michael Jordan. It's like if Jordan comes to your team, the whole paramount dynamic of the team is going to change, regardless of who the coach is, who the coordinators are, what the player base is like. It's going to change because he brings that commanding respect as well. Like, he is respected. So it's not like, coaches are going to want to be on their A game. They're not going to be like, okay, it doesn't matter who it is. Like, no, they're going to come through and be like, hey, yo, let's make sure that we do right by this cat. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be on their A game, or they're going to try their best to be on their A game with him being there. Because at the end of the day, think about it like this. If the offense is clicking and the coaching is a problem, it's going to point out as an eyesore. Why? Because you got Tom Brady. Tom Brady's playing. Now, if Tom Brady's playing like his age and he's playing like he really can't do it, now that's a whole different story.
Yeah,
but if
that's
he's
different.
but if he's playing like he can legit ball, and it's like the play calling isn't right or the way the scheming isn't right, that you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. So you don't want to be the one with the finger pointing to and saying you're the problem. Get him out of here. Tom Brady is there for only 2 years. I think they said 2-year deal. So it's like, yo, we got to make sure that we hit and we do this thing right. So that's why he want to get on the right page with everybody, offensively and defensively. So make them He's gonna step in and make them cats step up. So I love that. Like I love that about him. So I want to see what that potentially is going to bring to the table in terms of what kind of team you're going to see overall, in terms of what kind of difference it's going to make with him being on the squad. So we'll see, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
but go ahead, man.
It definitely caught me by surprise. I mean, I think Smitty said what needed to be said there, so I don't have to go much further. Yeah, man. I mean, they got defense. Like you said, Tom Brady makes everybody better. Is he the same Tom Brady? No, obviously not. And you know what? Sometimes I think media, sometimes, and maybe even us fans, we put too much stock in certain players. The dude is 43 years old. Like, let's be honest, and playing in the NFL. And now, 43 is not an old person in the world, but in football terms, he should be showing some regression. Like he should. So I don't understand how even some people are already saying, if he don't get it done in Tampa, then he's, huh? Come on, man. I mean, this dude, I'm just saying. Maybe some of it was Bill Belichick, which I do think some was. But also, he's 43 now. So, but I think he's still a good enough quarterback that can win. Don't get it twisted. He had some bad throws and things like that last year, but he didn't really have no real weapons out there either. So I think if you put Tom Brady on a team that has offensive weapons, I think we're going to see a lot of Mike Evans this year. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to find Mike Evans and everybody else around him. So, and with my boy Bruce Arians, y'all know I love Bruce Arians, man, for the time that he spent, of course, at Pittsburgh. And then also the funny thing is the dude grew up like maybe 15 miles from where I live. I didn't even know that. So that's my dude. The no risk it, no biscuit. That's his mentality. I think they're going to be a force. Now, they still got the Saints they got to deal with. So I'm not going to sit here and act like that just because Brady is on the Tampa Bay bus. People saying they going to the Super Bowl already. Maybe, but that ain't no guarantee. You know what I mean? There's no guarantee that other teams in the NFC can't beat them. Let's not act like they just gonna go because Tom Brady's there. I mean, his history says that, but new system, new team, new everything, new division. That's one thing people not talking about. I don't think it's just an easy 6 wins no more, like they used to do in New England. Sometimes Miami would beat them when they was at home, but the Patriots have had it very easy, in my opinion. And I'm not hating. I'm just keeping it real. Look at that division. Buffalo just now peeking their head back into being competitive. But you could pretty much count on at least 5 wins most of the time every year if you're in the AFC East. That ain't going to be the same down there. The Saints could get you a couple times. Everybody else, though, Smitty, I don't know. I don't know if the Falcons are going to rebound, even though they got Todd Gurley now. That's another interesting one. Gurley getting cut that quick, after that huge contract. Wow. We can move on from Brady. Let me see who else we want to talk about, Smitty, man. I'm just scrolling through the list here. I mean, it's a bunch of names. Emmanuel Sanders going to the Saints. That's interesting.
Yeah.
With Michael Thomas out there. Let me see who else we got.
My man Big Play Slay.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? And then what he had to say about Patricia.
Oof.
And everything too. That's just like, but see, you know what?
Not good.
Around here locally though, the Lions, especially the home at Patricia altogether, has not been a good experience across the board. We talked during the course of the season about the Lions and the decision making, as far as him, being at the helm. So it's like, I really don't know, dude. I really don't know. You know what I'm saying? And this just adds more fuel to the fire. I mean, you get rid of Diggs. He goes over to Seattle and he's balling over there. Happy as all get up over there. And now you got Slay making the transition that he made as well over to the Eagles and everything.
Oh, that's right.
And it's
Eagles,
like saying what he said. Yeah, like they traded him for like I think they said a third and a fourth round pick or something like that for Slay. But yeah, so it's like I just don't know about this. I don't know, and I'm like. I don't think that. I mean, look, a good number of people, myself included, was honestly looking forward to seeing him get the axe this past season. We thought this was going to be it because how you gonna go up on stage with my man's and go up there and say like, yeah, I don't like losing and this is not gonna cut it and we got to improve. You fired Caldwell saying you're going to get better. Like, we made this move because we need to upgrade. And right now, you're sitting on 9 wins in 2 seasons. Like you are not doing well at all.
Cardwell, you know I mean? that firing look mighty bad right now.
Yeah. So just understand, like you guys could be in some hot water for real, come this next season, especially if you guys don't knock it out the park. And really win. Like, y'all gotta win games. Y'all gotta win some legit games, man, or else y'all in some real trouble. So.
Yeah, man. And I see you guys asking some gaming questions. So hold those in the tuck, man, in a minute. We'll talk a few more free agents, and then we could probably mix the whole console stuff and the Madden stuff all together. Let me see who else I wanted to talk about, man. Oh, you see what we did, Smitty? Went out there and signed Ebron. That's interesting. I mean, we definitely could use a tight end in Pittsburgh. And I mean, Smitty would know better than me, but if any of us who've watched football, the way I look at Ebron, I think Ebron is still a guy that's serviceable. Like he can do good things in certain situations. Do I think he's an all-around great tight end? No. He hasn't really displayed that, but I definitely think that he can be a presence in the middle of the field. I think that's where it's going to help out the Steelers, especially if Ben comes back healthy. He likes working the tight ends. So I think, and I'm not saying it's just because I'm a Steelers fan, but I really do think that people will be looking at Ebron a little differently this season because I think his numbers are going to go up. Ben's going to get him the ball. And we'll see. I was happy that they made a move. It surprised me, though. I thought they was probably going to maybe go into the draft. It surprised me that it just goes to show you guys, and even I know some Steelers guys in here tonight, we never know what the organization is thinking. I know a lot of us think we know, but you never know how they value certain positions, draft picks, etc., etc. None of us thought that they would grab a tight end in free agency. And, a guy like Ebron, you would think he would have been too high as far as cost. And look what they did.
Right.
So, we shall see. Let me see, Smitty. Was there anybody else important to talk about? Clowney still hasn't been signed. That's interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think Cam Newton going to end up, man? You think Cam and Jameis will be starters this year?
I believe Cam will. I don't know about Jameis, though. I really don't know about Jameis.
Because supposedly, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but supposedly the story is that the Panthers were trying to shop him to the Chargers and to the Bears, and they didn't bite. But honestly, if they're going to... To me, you showed your hand when you signed Bridgewater. So if I'm a GM of another team, I already know you're going to cut him. So I'm not going to take on that salary. I'm going to wait till he gets cut, and then we'll talk. So that wasn't too surprising to me that they couldn't trade him. But yeah, I don't know, man. I agree with you. And the funny thing about Jameis Winston, what's so crazy about that is how in the world do you lead the league in pass yards, throw 33 touchdowns and 30 interceptions? That is insane. Like, it makes me think about it like this. Instead of, I know some people trashing him and all of that. I get it. But can you imagine if he only had, let's be modest and say...
Even if he had 15 interceptions.
15 or 16. How many more yards would he have thrown for?
Right.
Maybe more touchdowns. That's just crazy. Who does that? So, I don't know. Do I think he's gonna be a starter somewhere? I don't know.
I think those days are done.
Yeah.
Unless somebody gets injured or something like that, like I don't think you're gonna see him in the starting role anymore. He had that chance. He got beyond enough chances. You know what I'm saying? With the what's their names? The with the Bucks, excuse me. Slipping my mind. Because I'm up here thinking of a team. I'm up here thinking of like the Titans, and they had Mariota. Mariota was not a horrible quarterback. He didn't have years like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Jameis did, and they got rid of him. Jameis, he been throwing picks and making all kind of mistakes for years, like bad mistakes. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And it's like Mariota got cut for less. You know what I mean? Like, so he got benched for less. So yeah, I don't think so, man. I think that's the end of it.
I think it's over.
If someone gets hurt, then he'll get a chance. That's how I believe he'll get to truly start again. Otherwise, no, he done.
Yeah, and it's sad too, man, because I see Luke said Jameis is trash. It's sad because I don't know if I would go as far as saying he's trash, but there's something definitely wrong, man. I don't know where the interceptions come from. I don't know if it's like a mental thing or if he can't read the defense. You know what I mean? Because you can't forget what he did in college, even though it's college. And he has had his moments in the NFL. You know, at one time, like again, you lead the league in passing, and you still put up 33 touchdowns. For any other quarterback, that's a heck of a season. But how do you throw 30 picks? So y'all, you understand what I'm saying? So I don't know if I can say he's all the way trash because he still produced with the 30 interceptions. But I wonder what the problem is. Like, is it sometimes he seems to be wildly inaccurate sometimes too, Smitty? And I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if it's correctable. That's my concern with Jameis. I don't know if whatever it is that has him like that one game I watched, the dude threw an interception on like the first play of the game for a pick six. Or I think he threw 2 in the game. I'm like, bruh. I don't know, man, but I think you guys are right, man. I think he definitely needs to, you know, maybe mature on and off the field. And I don't know, maybe he could, you know, somebody can work with him. But the days of him being a starter, I don't think he starts in 2020. I don't think it happens. We'll see. We shall see.
Yeah.
And yeah, look, Luke, that's your opinion. You know, I'm not gonna argue it. I'm just saying, y'all know me. I look at everything twofold. I can't call a dude straight trash that can produce plus 5,000 yards and 33 touchdowns. Yes, he threw 30 picks. Of course, nobody's denying that. But I'm just saying, you know, this is not a comparison, but I'm just going to give a similar situation. Think about Brett Favre. You know, this dude that, you know, was leading in interceptions, and, you know, it's like, but you can't say he's trash. I don't think Jameis is a gunslinger like Brett Favre was. That's why I said I wonder what it is that led to those picks. What is it? Is his mechanics? I don't know. But I'm just me personally, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I just can't call somebody straight up trash that can do that. It's mind-boggling to me how you can have that many touchdowns and interceptions. I don't know how. That's crazy. But yeah, man. Let's see. Is there anybody else worth noting before we move on to the consoles and Madden? So sad to see Javon Hargrave go to the Eagles, man. But I knew it was gonna happen. We weren't gonna pay that for a traditional nose guard. But I'm proud of him, man. You know, for any people who know the story, small school when he got drafted, and people thought he couldn't play with the Power 5 conferences, and he goes to the Senior Bowl, shows off, and then our D line coach at the time, John Mitchell, like pounded the table for him. Tomlin agreed to let him draft him in the 3rd round, and the dude turned out to be a monster nose tackle. It's just that, you know, the Steelers don't really use the traditional nose like they used to. So I'm happy to see him get paid. You know, for you guys that don't know, he got a 3-year, $39 million contract with $26 million guaranteed. So
that's what's up.
Shout outs to him, man. That might be it. I mean, there's some other sprinkles in here, but I think those were the big ones that caught us off guard. Bridgewater, man. I like Teddy, man, but that kind of surprises me, Smitty.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, this is not a disrespect to Bridgewater, but it's kind of like, do you think your team is going to be that much better off than you were with Cam? I'm just strictly talking about the Panthers. Now, I will say this, you know, Matt Rule or whatever is the coach. I mean, it's going to probably be a whole different type of, I'm assuming the way they run offense and all of that, so it might play into Teddy's hand. But Teddy Bridgewater has not necessarily, I know it's unfair to say this about him because it's injury and stuff, and he kind of, had a hiccup in his development. But it's not like Teddy Bridgewater has lit it up. He's been a very good game manager. I think he earned his money last year coming in for Breeze, and they didn't lose. But is he your franchise guy? And I know you got to take a chance on him, but listen to these numbers though: 3 years, $63 million, 33 fully guaranteed. I just don't know if Teddy has proved that yet. I want him to get the money. Don't get it twisted. I like Teddy Bridgewater. I like his story. I like what he was in college. I've always rooted for him. But if I'm starting my team, am I paying him that money? I don't know. Interesting. But that's about it, man. Everybody else ain't really worth noting. There's some notable guys who ain't signed yet, though. But well. But all right, Smitty, let's talk about some good stuff. What everybody came here for before we get out of here.
Yeah.
I'll be very brief with the console stuff, and Smitty is probably a little more technical than I am when it comes to those things. So if he has anything to add. But honestly, man, what I take from the console stuff as of now, at least I'm not aware of. Maybe you guys can inform me. We haven't really seen any games or anything yet. As far as I know, the specs are out there, and it seems that the Xbox Series X, I believe it's called, is more powerful than the PS5. But me personally, I don't know. I honestly don't know if that really matters in terms of us, the consumer. And let me explain to you why. Smitty and I know this firsthand from dealing with EA and the devs. When games are multi-plat, right? It's not like they're going to go full out or full blown on one console more than they can the other. Because especially speaking on behalf of Madden, they can't really do that. They got to make the games the equivalent. They can't make one on Xbox, blow the doors off the one on the PS4 because of partnerships and agreement. You know what I'm saying? So I think the only time you get the full potential perhaps is when games are exclusive to a console. And when it comes to that, history has shown, and again, I'm not being biased because you guys know, most of you guys would know, at least Smitty knows this. I used to be an Xbox guy. Matter of fact, this go around, I wouldn't have gotten a PlayStation had it not been for Smitty and Azure and some devs at EA. I had the Xbox One all ready to go,
yeah,
baby.
That's right. Yep.
And Smitty was like, "Nah, Sam, get that PS4." I'm like, "Why, man? Trust me, I was all ready to go because I'm a 360 dude, right? So I had a PS3 and I ended up selling that because 360 was where I was living at. That was my platform. That's where all my boys was at. With Smitty and Smitty might have had both consoles. I don't think we all did at some point, but I lived on Xbox. So naturally I was gonna go with the X1. But Smitty convinced me, and again, along with Azure, some other people, I went PlayStation, and I've been happy with it. And I fell in love with a lot of the PlayStation exclusive titles. But me personally, that as of now, that's probably the way I'm gonna go again because of the games that I like to play. Because like I said, the multiplats is not going to matter. It's not like they're going to, a game that they're both being represented on. Again, let's say Madden or NBA 2K. It's not like they're going to make a better NBA 2K on the Xbox. Even though, y'all know how it go. People have their opinions. Oh, I think it runs smoother on the Xbox. Oh, I think it looks better on the PlayStation. Oh, it feels better on the Xbox. Everybody has their opinions. I'm talking about from a pure dev standpoint. They're going to be the equal game on both. Most of the time, how developers work, and again, this is coming from our experience dealing with EA, usually what happens is developers will produce the game on the more, quote unquote, the better console, and then they port it over to the other console. And I didn't know that. That's what I learned, again, with the PS4 and Xbox One. It's like I said, most of the time, at least at EA, the developers will make the game on whichever console they feel is better for the development, and then it's kind of ported to the other console. So they're going to be on the equal level. But I just don't think, Smitty, it means that much as far as power. I mean, I see, and I don't get into the console wars. I don't understand that. Play what you like to play. I never understand, and I get it. I'm not in that crowd, but I don't understand all of the, and I'm not going to say the word because, it's not politically correct now, but, they call them the X, the X ags. I'm not going to put the F on it. I don't get all of that. Why can't I like Xbox? Why can't I like PlayStation? Why is it, whatever. But you tell me, Smitty, man, do you think, from what we know right now, does what we are hearing, does it really matter in terms of us, the consumer? And because the Xbox Series X seems to be the more powerful one, does that going to make a difference, or is that going to sway whichever way you decide to go? Can't hear you. Think you might be muted.
All right, there we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. No, it doesn't matter to me because the thing is, people ultimately want to know what are these consoles going to do in layman terms.
Right.
In the simplistic terms. See, Xbox just shown stuff in more simplistic terms. That's why right now it looks like the pendulum is swinging towards Microsoft. While Sony, did their presentation,
super technical.
It was super highly technical.
Oh
right?
My god, I will say that.
That's the thing. This is the thing. Microsoft did the same thing with Xbox Series X when they first announced it. You saw them talk about the super technical specs and everything. No one really gave a care about that, other than it just being an announcement and they had the tech specs. Sony's literally doing the same thing. That's all they're doing. You're gonna see Sony do a presentation or however they choose to do it. They're gonna have their conversation piece when they do everything in layman terms as well. They just haven't done that yet. They don't, and there's no rush for them to do it. These consoles aren't coming out till the holiday season, so they don't need to jump out there. And you got to remember, Sony is leading the charge. So it's like they don't need to rush and hurry up and be like, oh, let me hurry up and get all this out here and market it this way and do all that. They don't have to. See, Microsoft has to, because remember what they did. Oh, we're going to DRM your console. You have to have, you had to have the Kinect, and you had to have it scan your room or whatever it was and all that. Like, they put a lot of hard restrictions on the console at first. And a whole lot of people, the majority of people, were not with that at all. So therefore, they was like, Microsoft had to backtrack their action. So when you look at it now, oh yeah, of course, everything they're saying is the right thing to say. People had hands-on time with the console now, and our impressions are this, and oh man, we love this, and oh, we love that. See, that's the thing about it. So it's like they're doing the right thing, but at the same time, Sony's doing the right thing too. They're just not moving as fast. That's it. So they'll get there too. And then, and the other thing too, Sim, is this. I was saying this earlier to some people I was playing games with earlier. When it comes to these consoles and stuff, people want to be out, quote unquote, war and all that stuff. This thing to understand. Right now, whether you have a PS4 or an Xbox One, how many of you guys are bragging about tech specs right now? Nobody is. You're not boasting about tech specs and
Right.
capabilities and all that stuff. You don't give a care about all that because at the end of the day, you load the game up and be like, oh, well, it looks good on the Xbox and it looks good on the 4. Oh, okay, bet. That's it. How good does this game look on my full 1080p TV, or how good does this game look on my 4K TV? Sony put out, what was it, Xbox One X or whatever, and PS4 Pro. How good does it look on my 4K TV? Hey, but here are all the other tech specs. Skip all that. How good does this look on my 4K TV? If it looks good, bang, we're done. Oh, but these specs and this spec and that's, they don't care about that. So in the most simplistic terms, as long as it performs well and the games look good and the control feels right in your hands when you play and all that stuff, as long as the experience flows, they're not going to give a care about the tech specs like that. Now you have some people that do care, but you're going to have a lot of people that really are not going to give two flying farts about that. So so I understand. Like I said, I get it, but ultimately it doesn't it's not going to mount. It's not going to mount to a hill of beans. So it really doesn't matter. So
Absolutely, man. And I was just typing something real quick, just a quick side note, a sad note, man, before we dive back into it. I just read, man, that the legendary Harlem Globetrotter legend, man, Curly Neal died, man, at 77 years old. So that
oh man,
sucks, And I know guys like Smitty and myself, man. I know we watched Globetrotters when we was kids, so we know Curly Neal. So I want to just give a quick, you know, prayer to him, man, to his family, man. Hopefully his 77 years were fulfilled. But it always sucks, man, when you hear about people passing, even if they're older, because it's kind of like it's different than obviously than like a Kobe and things like that because he's so young and so close to your age. But it's like anybody that we've seen our whole lives, it feels a little different. Almost feels like you knew him. So that sucks, man. I remember watching the Globetrotters when I was a young buck. So
yeah.
sorry to hear that, man. But let's get back, man, to the game. And I agree with Smitty, man, for the most part. I think we pretty much were saying the same thing there. I love what Smitty said at the end about who's thinking about specs at the moment. It all comes down to how the game feels, how the controller feels, whatever. That's all you're really worried about. All that other technical stuff, even with I even go as far as saying this, Smitty, like, I was one of those people too. Oh, the PS4 Pro, and man, I'm gonna tell y'all what. If I play my PS4, and I can turn and look at it right now, y'all can't see it, but right there on the wall is a 4K television. If I play my PS4 Pro on that, 2% of the time in a year, I'm doing good. Most of the time, I'm playing it on a monitor. That's not 4K. And I used to have, and I'm sad about this because it broke, but I used to have that little, what you call that thing? It had the little G-Story screen that fits right on the PS4, and it was HDR, and it broke on me. I had it for a couple years, but I had the other one too, that I ended up having the the M155, I think, the monitor that the company Games makes instead of the case. So I had to go back and use that. I'm using that now, and that one is just 1080p. It's not, HDR or anything like that. It don't matter. It's not like I'm really concerned about it. I spend most of my time playing on that monitor than I do on this television. So that's Smitty's point right there. So that's how we feel, man. Again, we don't have much more to talk about in terms of the consoles. We don't know much yet, because what do we really care about? I think that's really what Smitty was saying. What are the games like? That's really all we care about. How, regardless of the power, blah, 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 what are the games like? Which brings us to the next point. So I'm going to tell y'all a quick story, man, and I can't believe I'm even saying this. We're going to talk about Madden a little bit. It's so frustrating, guys, because I really feel like Madden is on the cusp of being special. Yes, I went as far as saying special. But we're going to explain it to y'all. Y'all have heard us say this before, but I was telling Smitty before the show started. Y'all know we play in the Sim Standard League. Smitty hasn't played in the league in a while, and I clearly understand why. Sometimes I don't want to play, but
yeah.
It's fun. It's 32 of us. It's the most fun I can get out of. Well, I'm lying about that. Honestly, the most fun I get out of Madden is y'all see me posting them franchise offline videos. I have some fun playing that. I take the game for what it is, but it's less of the user input, which is still a problem in the game. But anyway, let me get to the point. Usually I do okay in the league. Sometimes I make the playoffs. I'll be honest in saying sometimes I end up 9-7. I've done some 8-8s. Because we got some guys in there, and this is not a shade to anybody. But y'all know even when you play sim leagues, right, there's always people who figure out how to play Madden. Not necessarily play football. Right? And again, I'm not shading or knocking anybody. I'm just saying. Some people are good at Madden, meaning that they can still play a sim style, but they know exactly what to do, what's not going to work, da-da-da-da-da, right? Me, on the other hand, I'm still one of those dummies, and maybe me and Smitty are the last of the Mohicans when it comes to this. No, but I include Azure in this. We still try to play football. You know what I'm saying? We still try to strategize, call a certain D, and we're expecting things to happen. That's the only way I know how to play. That might be my fault. And to me, I'm not in the Madden tournament, so it doesn't mean that much to me to just win. I'm going to play the game the way I know how to play. I'm trying to strategize. So long story short, we're in season 5. And I'm here to tell you that yesterday I wrapped up the season, heading into the playoffs, and your boy got a bye. Bruh, I'm 14-2. I don't know how this has happened. This never happens in this league. There's a couple guys in the league that I rarely can even beat. One of them is the Patriots owner. He might see this. Shout outs to Chris. He 15-1. He won the Super Bowl last year. Another guy that used to be in my division, shout outs to Halem. He dropped out the league, but I could get close, but could never beat him. He was always the Browns. And it's funny because when he left, right, shout outs to Caleb, one of the administrators, one of the commissioners in our league. Yeah. He was like, hey, it's your division now, right? I said, we'll see. And lo and behold, the last person, the closest to me, I think they might have won 7 games. Clearly got the division. But anyway, that's neither here or there. I've played some of the best players in the league this season, and I'm winning. 14-2. It's crazy. But let me explain to you why Madden pisses me off at times. What I actually did has worked. I built a heck of a defense. And I'm talking about, my free safety is an X factor. He's nasty. And y'all, after our 4th season, we started doing like fantasy drafts. Because, once we get through like the 3rd year of players who are currently in college, and shout outs to Azure, man, because he heads all of this, we do a Hall of Fame draft class. That was last year. Then this past season we did that. Next season, after this season, we'll extend it out to some guys who you thought were going to be Hall of Famers and never was. Like Michael Vick and people like that. Some now, I think in this year's class, we're doing like gadget players. So we got Percy Harvin and Tim Tebow, et cetera, et cetera. So I got Troy Polamalu in the secondary. He doesn't have an X factor or anything yet, but he's nice. Built up my corners. Drafted this kid in year 2. He's a 97 man. On the other side, I got another guy that's not that good in zone, but he's a 93 man. So I can run man when I want to. Got Devin Bush has his he's not an X factor, but he's a superstar. TJ Watt is phenomenal. He's a superstar. Drafted another guy who has a 96 finesse move coming off the edge. He's now a star player. I mean, my defense is nuts. But not overpowered, Smitty, which is kind of surprising me. Like, the cheesiness hasn't jumped off as much as I thought, except for one guy, Devin Bush. I'm here to tell y'all that Devin Bush, as of yesterday, has, let me see, I'm trying to remember the tally. He has like 17 forced fumbles. Why? Because he has enforcer. And this is the stuff that Smitty and I talk about. It got to the point, guys, even I'm relying on the cheese, right? Let me explain to you why. It's been games. I've been a second half team almost this whole season. And I can almost guarantee y'all every time I'm playing, like, a lot of times I play in the living room, my wife's sitting there, I'll be like, man, I need something to happen. She'll laugh at me. Come on, Devin Bush, I need you to make it happen. And there's times when I get on him and I turn the ball over. And that kind of stuff right there that's where the non-authenticity comes into play. And I wanted to explain it that way, Smitty, because this game could be, just imagine if Madden fully respected physics, momentum, relative positioning, meaning how close are you in proximity to the ball, player, pylon, whatever, etc., leverage, one-to-one interactions, no two-man sequencing, right? And some of you guys may have seen the video I put up a couple days ago showcasing NBA 2K, and I got more coming. And again, I'm not saying this game is perfect, but they have done a good job in situations that used to be two-man sequences that is not anymore. I've seen a couple, but it ain't. They have drastically reduced that, starting with 2K19. And even when I played Azure, me and Azure always have tight games. He get me, I get him. I happen to beat him in this season. He threw 4 interceptions. And you know me and him, we always go back and look at the replays. I am sick and tired, Smitty, and y'all all have seen this if y'all have played Madden. When you get that two-man animation where it looks like an automatic overthrow, and the defender leads out a little, they both dive for it, but he happens to be further than you, and the ball is overthrown to the defender. It's an interception. How many times have we seen that? And this is what I'm talking about. A lot of these things ain't even your fault. And Azure made a good point, Smitty. You saw it in the chat today. Well, the text me with all of us was in it today. He actually said that he feels like the game respects momentum and morale, where it will overly make players play a certain way. And he mentioned to me earlier in the season, your team overall has a lot to do with it too. Because think about this, guys. When you playing a user, like some of you guys might be in the league, how many times have you seen it where it's games where it seems like your guys ain't doing nothing? I mean, they can't, nothing's working. Nothing. Your star running back ain't breaking tackles. Your defender you can't do nothing. And clearly it's not just because the other guy's shutting you down. It's the stupid stuff. And I get it. If it's a cold streak, I'm cool with that. But when I started paying attention to it, I think Azure might be on to something. If you playing a team with a higher overall, like a super high overall, it seems like it nullifies your team. It shouldn't be that way. So again, before I throw it to Smitty, this is why Madden upsets me, man, because I built my team to where I got it and they're performing. But I know that it's not because I just built the team. It's not just because I have these beasts. It's still a lot of nonsense dice rolls that happen, nonsense two-man animations that happen. And that's all we're asking for. Look, man, I know that the suits don't want to recreate the wheel, but can we at least get a cycle where, for whatever reason, you look at FIFA and say, wow, I would like Madden to kind of resemble that and give us more of the ball physics, weight, momentum, leverage, etc., one-to-one interact. That's really all I'm asking at this point. Don't kill me for saying this, guys, but honestly, at this point, if they didn't add anything else but addressed all of that, I'd be fine for a cycle. I would be fine. But that's what makes it so frustrating, Smitty, because on one hand, I look at the team, I look at the season and be like, wow, man, I went 14-2. And a good portion of it is because of how I built the defense. But another portion of it is because of I know I'm being aided by these dice rolls and the overalls of my players. And even though I'm winning, I don't like that. I don't like that whatsoever, man. So that's just. Oh, my man right here says FIFA is absolute garbage right now. All right, well, wait. And I know Smitty will chime in on this. This is what I'm talking about when I compare these games. Because I said it in my 2K video. When I compare Madden to these other games, I'm not talking about the ins and out of FIFA. I don't know soccer. I don't know pacing. I don't know formation. I don't know none of that. Right? MLB The Show. I don't know baseball ins and outs. I don't know what pitch counts should be. I don't know none of that. Hockey. I don't know nothing about hockey. So I ain't even got to keep talking after that. What I'm looking at when I compare Madden to these other games, I'm a football guy. I like to consider myself very knowledgeable in football. I know X's and O's. I'm only comparing these games with how physics plays out. Is weight and momentum respected? Ball physics? How players interact with one another and control during those situations? AI. That's pretty much it. When I look at FIFA and when I play FIFA, I see these things that I don't see in Madden. So again, your opinion may be valid in terms of saying FIFA is garbage. I can't argue that. But I'm not talking about from a soccer standpoint. I'm just talking about from players interacting and how things perform physically. That's what I'm talking about. But what you got, Smitty, now that I've gone on my rant about Madden?
No, I mean, the thing is, like what you just said to the gentleman that just had made the point about FIFA. And this is the thing. See, FIFA, it's about the mechanics that we talk about. When we play FIFA, we don't be like, oh my gosh, this game is perfect. No, we're not saying it like that. We're making the point of saying that, like, I don't watch soccer like that, but at the same time, I can watch Premier League, and then I can be like, hey, yo, a decent amount of things I'm seeing happen in this Premier League game happen in FIFA when I be playing. That's the point that I'm getting at. I see that one-to-one thing. Now, pacing, speed, and all that, how the game actually plays out the video game, that's a whole different thing. But the thing is, like, I was just playing it here while Sim was talking. I fired it up here real quick. And I mean, I have a play here where dude changed pace, changed direction. And I mean, the foot planting was legit. The way the defender had to react and how he had to readjust to try and be in position to make a play, it all looked very legit. It didn't look way too video gamey, but at the same time, it was valid in terms of what actions took place. You know what I'm saying? Like, the defender had his back to me trying to guard me, so he's at my mercy when it comes to me changing direction. I fake to the left, go right, and then I fully commit to the left on him. I switched up on him multiple times. He couldn't stick with me one-to-one because he didn't know where I was going. So it's like he had to wait until I made my move, then he tried to pursue. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. So when you say that, you know, like, you could say FIFA's bad and it's all that. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. But at the end of the day, it's the way the mechanics are depicted that when I play this and I see the way the player movement is done, if it was like that in Madden, Madden would be two, three, four times greater because of the organic play. And the organic play is not there at all. With Madden, it's heavily scripted. And the thing is, to the point that Sim makes, you know, I brought it up here. I brought it up here before on the show a few weeks ago, and I'm gonna make this point here again, and I'm gonna bring up this press release because this is something that needs to be understood here. Now, to Sim's point, right? To what Sim had.
Oh, you know what, Smitty?
Oh
Right
yeah,
before
what?
you read that,
Uh huh.
when y'all hear Smitty read this, you tell me if this stuff was happening right now, that Madden 20 wouldn't be off the chain. Pay
Yeah.
attention to what Smitty is about to say. This is what we're talking about.
All right. So here we go. Okay. I'm gonna take from this here. Athletes will possess human-like intelligence for advanced decision making. Players will have the agility required to change speeds and directions with true athletic motion. Okay? Now that's one statement. Let me see here. Let me go in here. Okay, here we go. Athletes in EA Sports Next Gen titles will be able to make intelligent decisions with human like reaction times. Oh, yeah. Let's see. EA will be able to compute 4 times more calculations per second than previous consoles, unlocking nearly infinite potential for how players think and enabling them to make more difficult decisions faster. Players are alive with contextual awareness and instincts, thinking, anticipating, and reacting just like real athletes. And players are conscious of their environment. Also, deliver the dynamic movements and biomechanics of the world's best athletes with 10 times more animation depth and detail than previous consoles and thousands of new sport-specific animations to drive new locomotion systems. Players now plant, pivot, and cut, quickly changing speeds and shift momentum with the agility and explosiveness of superstar athletes. And then this little tagline right here. Ignite incorporates runtime physics, player intelligence, animation, locomotion, and online systems into one powerful new engine. For the first time, EA Sports games will be alive, further blurring the line that separates the real world from the virtual.
He lied! How, Sway? Oh my gosh, man.
So
Wow.
So when I read all that stuff that I just read, you guys, that was from the press release that was from EA Ignite. What the engine was supposed to be, what it was supposed to do, right? So and this is the thing that has to be understood. See, when people get mad at us and say that, oh, you sim guys, you're ruining the game and you guys are this and that. Why y'all get mad at us? I don't understand that. Andrew Wilson. This is Andrew Wilson's talking. Matter of fact, let me go to because it has some of his quotes in here. Let me see, what are his quotes at? Here we go. Here it is. These are 2 quotes that were in the press release. He said, through years of investment and innovation, we have built technology across EA Sports to create a game engine that will deliver stunning accuracy, realism, and experiences that we previously could only dream about. Okay? He said, with Ignite and the power of the next gen consoles, our games will come alive with more authenticity, emotion, connectivity, and more fun. Authenticity, realism, blurring the lines between real world from virtual. This is the kind of stuff that Andrew Wilson said that we were going to get as a consumer. It was his idea or whoever's idea it was. They're the ones that got Lionel Messi up there, RG3, Anthony Pettis, Kyrie Irving, all sitting up there talking about their real world experiences. Oh man, when I come into the octagon and man, the way the physicality is on the pitch, and oh, when I'm setting up a defender with my dribble moves and I'm watching the feet and oh man, when I'm looking at defenders and the decisions they make and what they do and what I gotta watch for and blah blah blah. And then he sat up there and said, "This is the stuff that we're gonna be giving you thanks to having Ignite." He said it. Not Sim, not Smitty, not all the Sim standard made them do Ignite. No, 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 no. We didn't do that at all. Andrew Wilson and them said they was going to do this. He said that. The CEO, he went on that stage in 2013 at that Microsoft keynote, and he said this is what we was going to get. So when he says that, and we don't get it, I'm still waiting. Blurring the line that separates the real world from the virtual. I'm waiting to see that line. I haven't seen that line, that blurring line, that I haven't seen that happen yet. I'm still waiting on it. Now, have they shown some potential stuff along the way? Oh, no question. No question. And I've spoke about that we've spoke about that many times over the years and all that good stuff. But there is not a complete product that I could be like, yo, they set a brand new standard in football gaming. Like I told y'all last time, I got these PS2 and Xbox games. This is the standard, y'all. These joints. This standard. They have not surpassed these yet. You still got Madden 08. You ain't surpassed this with franchise mode death. You haven't surpassed the passing controls, which basically are Madden 06. You know what I'm saying? Remember what was said. Where's my joint at? This is my autographed Rex Dixon copy of Madden 17 here. Shout out to my man Rex. But the bottom line is, it says on the front, franchise mode, new ways to play, deeper than ever. How are you possibly going to promote this game and say this is deeper than ever when you don't even have a deeper franchise mode than this? And this is facts. This is not my opinion.
Yep.
This is facts. So, I mean, remember the player morale system? Players holding out contractually, players retiring, coming back as head coaches and offense and defensive coordinators, players making decisions as to why they wouldn't want to come to a team other than just, he's doing the most money, so he's going to sign with you. No. Players won't come to your team for various reasons. And you have this the morale chart on the player. This game did that. So no, you haven't set a new standard past what you did 2 console generations ago. So you can't possibly tell me. And then you sat up here and talked about how you gonna do all this stuff. That's why when I see them talk about, man, these new consoles, oh man, I can't wait. You said that for 2 console generations, bruh, and you have not upheld anything yet. So why am I going to be excited? How can you, and that's the thing at the end of the day, how can anyone attack, you can't attack me because your CEO, if anybody try to say anything to me, I'm like, bro, your CEO said y'all was going to give us this product. So I guess he lied. We all need to get at him then, because at the end of the day, this is what we're supposed to get as a consumer, regardless of how much understanding we have of, we understand the development process. We get what the devs got to go through. We understand the resource allocation, what you get and what you don't. Regardless of all that, this is what was promoted. So at the end of the day, that's what I expect as a consumer. I expect you to, even if you have limitations, I still am expecting to see the signs of life that, oh, okay, they didn't blow my socks off, but at the same time, they got something that I can mess with. Now, if they continue to build this way, I can mess with them then. But that's not what's happened here. You went from something good in True Step. The best running game that you had was in True Step with Madden 25. That was the best you had, and you got rid of it. So it's like, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? You guys had something and you got rid of that. And it's not our fault. Andrew Wilson said we was gonna get this product and we didn't get it. So at the end of the day, hey man, that's on y'all, man. You guys gotta go ahead and deliver that, man, because we expect, we're expecting it. You know what I mean? You gotta deliver it. So hey yo, do it. You know? So like what did he say? Oh, Luke. He said, yeah, and that's the other thing I want to say to the Luke while I'm thinking about it here. He brought up the point about 2K making another boxing game. No, I don't think. Look,
Prize Fighter
that
was trash.
yeah,
Y'all
that
remember
that
that?
game that game
Don
was
King's
terrible.
Prize Fighter was
Yeah,
horrible.
that was terrible, and that's what I'm
Horrible.
saying. Don't let some. There are some games. There are some avenues you just shouldn't go down. You know what I mean? Like some games you're great at, others you're not. 2K is great for basketball and football games. They're not great, and they weren't bad at baseball either. They had decent baseball games too. But that's the avenue. Boxing, they need to leave that alone. Let EA got that. I will say that EA has that. Unless somebody else comes out with a game, or unless 2K has just a whole different game plan. But otherwise, their boxing outing they put out was terrible. It was terrible. So I can understand why they gave it only one go and then didn't touch it again. But yeah, man, you know that's the main thing that I'm just saying about this product. It needs to be better. It needs to be better. It needs to excuse me. It needs to be better. The gameplay, the product needs to be a much better delivery. You said you were gonna deliver this to us, and I'm sorry. And I'm sorry, it's not our fault. It's not Sim's fault. It's not Smitty's fault when we call y'all out and say, how come you haven't delivered? What's the problem? What's the deal? Don't get mad at us. Don't get mad at us because we pointed out you need to fix it. You need to do better. Period. It's not a matter of, oh, well, you guys just need to accept. Like, nah, we ain't gotta. It's not our job to accept. It's for you to deliver a product that we can be satisfied by and stand behind and say, hey yo, this is some real good work here. If it's not, then we gonna let you know. And it's not, and we're not just gonna just give our opinion and that's all it's gonna be. We're gonna give you the facts. We're gonna give you the details as to why we feel the way we feel and show you visually why we feel the way we feel in regards to the games. That's it, man.
Yeah, man.
So
And
yeah.
one thing too we have to think about, man, just chiming in on again on what Luke is saying. I I know it's hard to view it from this standpoint, but Smitty and I say this all the time. We have to think about businesses, right? It unfortunately businesses don't always line up to what we want. Because I know you said, well, I want 2K make a basketball, a college basketball or college football or boxing. I'm sure they decide what's a good business move for them. It's the same reason why I've always said, and I'm still gonna feel this way until I see how everything goes with what 2K is able to do with the quote unquote NFL licensing. It's the same reason why I've always said for probably 2-3 years now that I'm not sure we'll see another 2K, a real NFL simulation game, because hate it or love it, Madden has grown to this global phenomenon. And from a business standpoint, 2K knows that it could take them a minute to steal that audience. Think about it. We are saying that, and I'm in agreement with everybody. We are hardcore simulation gamers. There ain't a whole bunch of them. Like, let's be real. Think about your own friends, right? Most of us got friends that we know. How many of you guys friends? Now, some of y'all might say all of them, but think about it. Out of, let's say 10 guys. Some of them might be your close friends. Some might be associates. Some might be dudes you know at the job. How many of these dudes play hardcore simulation style sports? So my point is, even though we want to see more competition and we would prefer a 2K5 like a 2K20 like 2K5, of course. But from a business standpoint, you have to be looking at Madden like, man, like they're a global giant. The MCS has made Madden now a global phenomenon. How can we cut into that? Are we going to be able to sell enough? Now, again, I know Luke and probably some other people in the chat going to say, yeah, they would if they just... No, again, stop thinking about your mind. Think from a business standpoint. They don't know that. Maybe this is why it's been such a long time before they would even attempt anything. Because what that deal told me, Smitty, even though we don't know the details, it made me go back on one of my own words. I think maybe 2K had been hollering at the NFL for years now. I don't think this just happened on a whim. I think maybe they have been like, hey, man, y'all can give us another shot. You can give us another shot. You can give us another shot. And then the NFL finally was like, all right, you know what? Y'all want in. We see an opportunity to make some more money. You still can't do the sim thing. But y'all, we'll allow you to use the NFL shield. Keep that in mind, folks. Because what we don't know as a fact, I see a lot. I don't want to get on a soapbox here, but I see a lot of us. I always include myself, even if I'm not doing this. I say us because we're all here together. A lot of us just go off of what we read. We read headlines. We read Twitter clips. We read quick YouTube videos, but we don't investigate. I do not believe that there has been factual statements saying that the NFLPA or the exclusive simulation license is up in 2021. I don't know if that's a factual thing. I've seen people saying it, but I don't know if that's, I don't recall seeing anybody confirming that. NFL or EA. So here's my point. The likely scenario is like we've always said, the NFL ain't got no problem with EA. That's the thing that y'all always got to remember. Everybody keeps saying, why won't they let 2K? The NFL is in bed with EA. You know all that money that y'all talk about that Madden makes with Mutt and all that. Do you know who else is profiting off of that? The NFL. I don't think that they're in a situation where they're looking to bring somebody else in. Are they looking to extend an olive branch to say, oh, we might can get some more money? Sure. Why don't we let 2K do this? But never forget, the NFL is the reason for exclusivity. Everybody always wants to say EA was afraid. EA, no. Now, maybe they were. Maybe they did look at their competition and was like, oh, boy, we got to step it up. But literally scared and they bought the rights out, that didn't happen. They can't do that. The NFL is the player. EA can't just make them, y'all gonna give us that exclusive license. They can't Debo their way into the license. So I don't get what some of y'all be thinking. But my point is, until we see that, and I thought we saw it, Smitty, when they announced this news, and I was sadly disappointed when I read more details. Until we see where it says the NFL will be allowing 2K and other publishers to make full-blown licensed simulation football games. Until I see that, I'm excited that 2K can get back into it, yes, but it ain't what we don't know if they ever will, because again, two things to remember. We don't know if that 2021 license is up for grabs at that point. I don't know that to be fact. Number two, a lot of y'all keep saying 2K21 gonna be that deal. No, it's not. Think about it. 2K21 would have to come out this year.
Yeah.
2K22 ain't gonna come out because if the license does in 2021, that means fiscal year. That means a Madden 21 and a Madden 22 will be out before a full-blown 2K product. Madden being the biggest studio and the most money. Come on, man. It's going to be a competition, even if they get back into the race. So I'm just saying all that to say try to look at it from the most likely scenario and be pleasantly surprised. Don't over expect and don't over assume and overly speculate when we really don't know what this means. It just scares me, Smitty, like I said on the last show. It scares me that there's so much emphasis on the wording. Non-simulation. I don't like that. And I don't like the NFL coming out and co-signing it saying, yeah, this is what we did. That scares me to death because, and again, I agree with what you said on the last show. It's going to allow them to get the foot in the door, maybe, but I don't like that promotion. And we'll have to wait and see what it is, man. I don't know. So. Yeah.
And see, the other thing though, too, to understand here is that this is, I saw on Operation Sports, Midway came out, no, 2K did it. It was a game called The Bigs. The Bigs and the Big Suit. And those were good games. And those were arcade-like games right there. So, well, they were arcade games. But could 2K do something like that with football? They definitely could. And it could be something profitable as well. So it just really is going to depend. You know what I'm saying? People are banking on an APF revival all of a sudden, and they think that's what's about to happen. Oh, but APF is a non-sim game, and it doesn't have the NFL like... No.
And why didn't they make a part 2?
Exactly.
Come on, guys.
You know what I'm saying? Like, ultimately, no NFL license is why it's not going to move like that. That is always going to hold true. Look at FIFA and PES. There are so many people I've seen say, oh, the gameplay is so much better in PES. How come FIFA sells over 20 million copies and PES doesn't sell? They don't even sell 10. Sometimes they don't even get close to that. They won't even get close to 8 in some years. That's because they don't have the licensing. Even though people, guess what? The community makes the rosters. PC modders, they create all the leagues and everything. It doesn't matter. If it's not officially part of the product that people can buy, they're not going to do it. It doesn't work like that. Okay? So that's it, man. But but yeah, that's the one thing that I will say in that regard. I just wanted to tack that bit on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the license is everything. Okay? Trust me, they cannot come out with an APF and go down that road again and think that that's going to get it done. You gotta have licensing. Okay? Seriously, you gotta have that top league license. So that's it.
You know what else that I just thought about too, as you said that, Smitty? Mm-hmm. Again, looking from a business standpoint, right? Why would the NFL be cool with them being able to make a game? Let's say hypothetically, they're able to make a game equivalent to APF with the NFL Shield. Mm-hmm. But why would the NFL? Why would they be willing to allow them to make that close of a simulation style football game with only their name and not player names? That don't make no sense.
Right.
Like what's the NFL's benefit? Like, think about it, guys. That's listening. What is the NFL's benefit to say? Because obviously 2K is gonna have to present whatever they're doing. So they come in the door and they say, "Look, we got this game. It's a great football product. It's basically APF. This is what we want to present with your name on it." Why would the NFL be cool with that? So it's just gonna say NFL, but there's no real play. Like, even if it's right. Legends, it doesn't make business sense for the NFL. So that's even more reason why I feel very leery about what they're presenting. I definitely think that it's probably gonna be. And I got to give shout-outs to SGO, my man Curtis over there at Sports Gamers Online with his video. This sounds plausible, what he said. He said it's probably going to either be, instead of NBA 2K Playground, it'll be NFL 2K Fields. Something like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you can go around in different neighborhoods and meet up with people. That could be kind of dope for people who enjoy that. Or he said it could be similar to what we saw in Long Shot. If you guys remember that, the first season of Long Shot, where Madden had like the little 7, I think Smitty might have mentioned something like this in the last show, the 7-on-7 and not necessarily two-hand touch, but it could be something like that. Again, NFL playground style, maybe a 7-on-7, but the key thing that SGO said, the gameplay could be off the chain. Like, he said, what if there are no regulations on how the game is playing? What SGO said is maybe they make the players look a little cartoony, but the way they move and perform and all that, I mean, on a 2K, NBA 2K level, very possible. But still, even with that, it ain't going to fulfill everybody's, it's not wetting everybody's whistle, man. Because it's not 11 on 11, and it's not, think about it. The majority of the people who buy these games, it's not going to please that kid that just wants to play with Patrick Mahomes who just won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Those things matter to that mass crowd of people. Maybe not us so much, because like you said, we got one of the good brothers in here tonight. Shout out to our homie, Neff. Neff will make a roster. Neff will recreate the name. Like, I don't need EA to do that for me or 2K to do that for me. But it ain't enough people like us, in my opinion. That's why I think it's going to be more so like what SGO says. That sounds about right. And I'm going to be honest with you, Smitty, that could be dope. That could be pretty sweet. Just something fun to play for casuals and hardcore people. And if the gameplay is stellar, I fool around with it. But if it ain't 11 on 11, man, nah, I'm sorry. It ain't going to hold my attention. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to speculate either. We'll just have to wait and see. And we'll see what they produce.
And the key thing to understand, guys, is once again, like I said on the last show, just like I've shown y'all all those Madden titles, franchise depth and everything, all the franchise depth and all that in there. Casuals are the ones that are going to be buying the games at the end of the day. It's not the sim guys that outweigh the casuals. It's all going to come down to the casuals no matter what. They're always going to be the majority that buy this game. We're always going to be the minority in that regard. That's just the way it is. So just be, just understand that. And and once again, like what we said, and I'll say it again, please curb your expectations when it comes to this 2K game. Okay? Please curb them. Don't give this far-fetched idea. Oh, snap, this is what it's going to be, and it's going to be all that. Don't do that.
Yep.
Wait until they put trailers out and official press releases and all of that stuff. Because you can be going 8 nuts for a free-to-play game right now that's going to be on mobile. Say, oh, Sam, it's about to be the... You don't know what it's going to be.
We have no idea.
The gaming infrastructure has changed since then. And I understand there's going to be console games. So I know that because that's what 2K did announce. But just understand, that doesn't mean it's going to be what you think. So, folks, please keep it, keep that energy low, keep them energy levels in check. Okay, don't go too crazy with it because you just don't know what's gonna happen. So,
all I know, and y'all know we never tooted our horns for being consistent. Y'all saw what happened with these last situations, and who were the level heads that just was like, "Hey, man, let's just wait and see." And we wait and saw. Well, actually, with some of them, we never saw. So. Again, I'm not trying to say Smitty and I and Azure are the greatest, visionaries. No, we just try to be reasonable. There's no need to speculate and hype anything until it's there. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So if it comes out and it's pretty decent, great. If we get news 2 years later that they can make a full-blown game, even better. Because I have all of that time to be excited. I don't have to be excited now. It's a waste of time. Once I hear that it's coming, oh, you better believe, then we got plenty to talk about then. So it's no need for me to address it right now. That's just how I feel. Yep.
Oh, one last thing before we go, so I know we got to wrap up.
Yep.
One thing I'll say to you, Luke, is he keeps on asking, how could I get on the show? I would say this.
Oh, next week, if y'all want, we can start doing the.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I got the number. We just don't happen to use it. But yeah.
So we'll make it so that when we do shows at times, Sim will provide the phone number. You could call in, whatever it is y'all want to say. So that way, we see you in the chat. But then also, if you want to chime in verbally, you could chime in, and we could definitely break some bread based upon whatever it is that's going on. So that way, it's easier because it's very difficult to bring somebody in here through the Skype method. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that, man. Definitely remind us. I know it's my responsibility to remember. But yeah, I think we could definitely do that. I mean, for you guys, I saw a lot of you Steeler guys in here tonight, and I appreciate y'all, man, following everything. Y'all be coming to Terrible Town, to my Madden videos, to Sim Standard. That's what's up. But same format. I have a blog talk number that I use there, so we'll just use it here. I mean, I'm paying for it anyway, so we simply we used to do that anyway back on the previous show. So, yeah, that's what we'll do. I will say that we may not, and I think Smitty kind of alluded to this, we may not do it every time, because I'm going to be honest, sometimes it kind of throws off the show, if that makes sense. I think there'll be times where we'll say, to make it more interesting, look, we want to hear from y'all. You know what? Let's pull a number up.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, instead of it just being every show. And because trust me, guys, and this is not a disrespect, it starts getting so redundant when people are calling week after week, and it's just convoluted, man. You just don't want to do it like that. It works for stuff like Terrible Towel because that's very specific. We talk, but with the gaming stuff, it's just too all over the place. But we'll start having special times where we'll be like, look, tonight we want to hear what y'all got to say. We might do a call when we ain't got, a show we have no topics. Look, y'all call in. Whatever y'all want to talk about, let's hit on that. So we'll make it interesting. But other than that, man, before you go, Smitty, anything else, man, you want to hit on before we get out of here?
No, I would say thanks everybody for coming through. Neff, you a fool, man. But no, thanks everybody for coming through, hanging out and everything. All of you guys, like I said at the beginning of the show, please be safe. Please be careful.
Yes.
Take the proper hygienic measures, to keep yourself safe, especially if you do have to go outside the house. Please be extremely careful because, you don't want, this is a very delicate time right now. So please do so, because while, some people can recover from this situation easily if they get it, other people, you have people that are definitely going through the struggle. So please be cautious, okay? But other than that, look forward to seeing you guys next week. And yeah, excuse me. Oh, I clear my throat. Peanuts eating, man. But anyway.
Oh man, why do peanuts do? Don't. I know it's a side note, but no jokes, folks. No other nuts do that. Why is it peanuts? Always you gonna get caught with something at some point of the eating experience, either at the beginning or after. I don't know what it is, man. It happened to me all the time, Smitty, with peanuts. I don't know what that's about. Cashews, no problem. Almonds, no problem.
Yep.
Them peanuts, though. And I know the jokes is coming, but y'all cut it out.
Yeah, but no. But yeah, man. So, man, Kevin up here clowning. But yeah, so and we look forward to you guys next week. And if you guys, what I was gonna say was, if you guys do have topics, by all means, let us know something on Twitter. Let us know something so that way we can just bring it on the air, bring it on and talk about it or whatever. And like I said, whenever Sim, maybe we'll do, that'll be like the trial or whatever. We'll do that show where we'll have call-ins and things like that. Or whenever we do it, we'll definitely make sure to let y'all know.
Yeah.
So that way, we'll give an advance warning on Twitter or whatever, and so that way you guys have an idea, so you guys can be ready and then we can discuss things as we're on the air. So, but that's all I got, man.
Yeah, man. I echo what Smitty said. Just try to be as careful as you can, man. Hopefully, nobody here, nobody hopefully, and if they do, hopefully they recover. But just be safe, man. We don't know what it is. I honestly feel like this, and I could be dead wrong. Again, pay attention to the mortality rates. That's very important. And why do I say that? Some people might ask. Because the media, and I know part of it is hype, part of it is their job. Their job is to keep reporting, right? The sentiment and the way everyone's acting, even in the stores, is almost like it's the plague. Like as soon as it touches you, you're going to fall out. This ain't doing that, right? Unfortunately, with any virus, or sickness, there's going to be people who are going to pass, unfortunately. We know that. But if you look at it, I saw today over 100,000 people have recovered. Let's pay attention to the people that we do know about, right? I don't want to say it's a good thing because it's not a good thing, but it was almost a good thing that Tom Hanks and his wife got it, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, Idris Elba, quite a few people, because now we can see in real time what's really happening. So I say all that to say this. Hopefully none of us have to deal with it, but it's not, as of now, it's not a thing that's going to wipe the world out. To me, it seems like it's a thing that's obviously easy to catch if you just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that's why the spread is so wide, right? That's how I'm attributing, what's happening is, wow, it must be easy to catch. That's why there's so many cases. And there's more tests. Because remember this, a lot of people, most of the stories you hear, people they not having no real symptoms. Nothing that would send them to the hospital, but they walking around with it. So I think it's going to be one of those things, almost, it might even be a seasonal thing like the flu. It's just unfortunate, but we're hearing it so much because it's spreading so quick. But again, the deaths are there, but percentage-wise, it's not like if you get it, you just gonna croak. You know what I mean? So don't panic. Just be aware, be safe, wash them hands, and try to avoid large crowds, man. That's all I can say about it. But outside of that, we will catch y'all later. I will go back upstairs and tend to this little pup, as my wife just told me he peed once again on the floor. Thank God it was the hardwood.
Oh yeah.
Like having a child, man. A 2-month-old puppy. But all right, guys. Hope everybody takes care. Oh, one last thing. Somebody asked me if I would be doing a MLB The Show franchise. I don't know yet. I haven't bought the game yet. I am going to probably get it, I'm pretty sure. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. Y'all have noticed, and Smitty was even saying this earlier before we started, I haven't even been able to stream either. The time just hasn't been there. That's usually when I was doing the MLB stuff. It's a lot of work doing a MLB The Show series on YouTube because the games are long. Maybe if I can find a nice way to chop it. And shout out to my boy M.Frisk. Frisk does a good job with his over there. Maybe, but I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. My MLB The Show videos don't get no type of traction. And it's not about views, but I mean, if you're going to waste your time doing something, you at least, want to get some type of reward or viewership at least. And I'm telling y'all, it's times when I've put up MLB The Show videos that might have got 100 and something views. It ain't worth the effort. So I can't promise anything. But that's all. Enough with the rambling. Stay safe. Stay smart. God bless. And have a good night. And we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.